because of the location that is outside the Red Fort gate number 1. The location is usually, it opens to a very busy road because just few meters away there's Chandni Chowk Market entrance, and this has been the same entrance for years now. And the cars are usually stationary there, right, parked right outside the gate number 1. So this car itself was also parked in the parking lot, and it moved out from there at around 6:48 and was slowly moving towards the red light just around 200-250 meters away. And moments later, just a few minutes later, at 6:52, there was a loud blast from the Hyundai i10. And which again resulted, we know that resulted into several cars which were near it catching on fire.
We have some breaking news coming in now. I'm going across straight to that because we have information that more explosives have been found. And that is the breaking news update now coming in Faridabad. Faridabad, where the terror conspirators were operating from. Let's go to the breaking news update. There are new pictures coming in of more explosives that have been recovered from Faridabad in Haryana. Faridabad in Haryana is where the terror conspirators operated from. All of them, or mostly all of them, were operating at the Alfala University. They pretended to be doctors. These terrorists, terror doctors, look at that, live pictures of the latest recovery from Faridabad. Shavan reporting details of how 50 to 60 kilograms of explosives have been recovered. This is Sector 56. As per some reports, Faridabad Police has reportedly detained 7 people from Alfala. 7 people from the Alfala University in Faridabad, Haryana have been detained. And outside of that, more details of the recovery. 50 to 60 kilograms of explosives that were seized. You can see that they were in gunny bags and in trays there. The police have gathered more evidence. We don't have the exact more explosives recovered. More explosives recovered by the police.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये
The visuals which we are seeing on the screen are visuals just around 7 o'clock. This blast is reported somewhere between 6:45 and 7 o'clock. The death toll is rising right now. We have NIA on the spot. This is a huge explosion because there are the mangled remains of multiple cars. We are told that in a whole area of 100-150 meters, nothing really was not brought to absolute ruin. You see the signs of the devastation, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for joining us here on Republic TV, ladies and gentlemen. In the last 24 hours, Shavan was in the studio last night when the blast happened. Initially, we were told it was an explosion inside a car, but what has happened in the last 23 hours, to be precise, has shocked each one of us. And on Republic today, Shavan, me, Abhishek Kapoor and Ridhamanand Bharadwaj, we are getting you the full story of the 10/11 conspiracy. What really happened in Delhi, the full investigation. Shavan, if you'd like to tell our viewers how we've pieced together the entire conspiracy of Pakistan.
Well, in fact, this is not an isolated case. What has essentially emerged in the last 24 hours is a larger conspiracy that has been hatched. While many would be little silent on the so-called Jaish link. Tonight, what we are essentially piecing together is the whole network. How exactly was the conspiracy hatched? Who were really behind it? And what exactly is this network? How is it very different than what we have seen in the past, Abhishek?
Shawan, it's different from the past in the sense that you are dealing with highly radicalized white-collar terrorists. The fact that 4 of them are doctors, the fact that they come from middle-class backgrounds, the fact that there is no terror history, not just of these 4 people, but their families, and I checked that, which means that Jaish now, and I have, and we will unravel that conspiracy aspect of how it goes right up to Jaish-e-Mohammed and of course then the Pakistani deep state, Niranjan.
Yes.
I think we have a lot of content over the next 2 hours, and people should be staying glued to Republic TV for the next 2 hours that we bring all those details, the complete conspiracy unraveling.
Absolutely, and as we're going to go across with Niranjan, Shravan, Abhishek and me, we're going to first give you angle 1. That is the 10/11 Delhi terror attacks case to one of the worst explosions that took place. We're going to give you the first angle that's happened there. The new details emerge from the crime scene. The focus of the investigation is on the 4 people suspected of having hatched the conspiracy. The 4 individuals, the main 4 conspirators in the blast, these are the doctors of terror. We show you the faces of terror.
As the national capital reels from the horrific blast that sent ripples of shockwaves throughout the country. Investigators have uncovered a network that is as shocking as it is sinister. The FSL team is now conducting. The men and women behind the plot weren't from dark alleys of terror. They came from the corridors of education and medicine. White coats, medical degrees, but a radicalized mindset. Leading the network, Dr. Muzammil Shakil, a Pulwama-based MBBS doctor turned Jaish-e-Mohammed operative. Once a lecturer at Alfala University in Faridabad, he was the intellectual and operational bridge between the interstate and transnational arms of Jaish and Ansar Ghazwatul Hind. Investigators say Muzammil used his academic cover to recruit and radicalize. His associate, Dr. Adil Ahmed, rather originally from Kashmir, was arrested earlier for pasting posters and supporting Jaish-e-Mohammed in Saharanpur. A doctor by profession, Adil's radical shift mirrors Muzammil's. Educated, skilled, but ideologically compromised. Among those named is also Dr. Shaheen Shahid, a woman doctor from UP's Lucknow. Investigators believed she played a key role in the logistics chain and was hired to head JEM Women's Wing and was sheltering operatives and helping move funds under the cover of medical duty. And the man believed to have taken the mission to its deadly end. Dr. Omar Nabi, also from Pulwama. Once a promising medical mind, now the suspected suicide bomber behind the Red Fort explosion. As his family in Pulwama mourns, investigators trace the radical network.
आखिरी बार कब उनसे बात हुई थी और क्या कुछ बात हुई थी, क्या कहा था आपने उनसे और उन्होंने क्या कहा था आपसे?
कुछ भी नहीं। जुम्मे के दिन हमने बात की, बस बोला घर आ जाओ।
तो कुछ यहाँ पर बातचीत हुई थी, पुलिस आपके पास आई थी, उन्होंने कुछ कहा आपका?
भाइयों को लेकर चले गए, बस बोला कुछ पूछताछ करनी है, इससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं।
तो ये डॉक्टर उमर है, ये क्या काम करते थे और वो ये कब कश्मीर से बाहर चले गए थे?
वो वहाँ जॉब करता था, एज अ प्रोफेसर वहाँ पढ़ाता था।
तो इन्होंने क्या कहा था वापस लौटने का, कभी वापस लौट आएंगे?
हाँ आते थे ना, बीच में घर आते थे, घर कौन नहीं आना चाहेगा। लेकिन आधा घंटा या दिन भर रहते थे बस फिर चले जाते थे.
The probe now centers on how Alfala University and its medical institutions became the breeding grounds for radical recruitment. A facade of education, masking a network that reached deep into Kashmir, Haryana, and the capital. Four doctors, bound not by an oath to save lives, but an allegiance to hate. The white coats may have fallen, but the terror trail they have left behind is being exposed layer by layer.
All right, also now we're going to give you more details about what really happened and also how these four conspirators were working. Shravan, I actually wanted to ask you on this coming across to you. This was a terror ecosystem. We are seeing radicalized professionals, doctors coming in, moving in Faridabad, in UP, in Haryana, and also, of course, in Pulwama. Give us the main four conspirators. What are the explosives that were found with them and what details do you have?
Well, in fact, what we're essentially going to do is take you through the four key characters here, why they are different and why it is a huge cause of concern. Let me first begin by telling you, all four that you see on the screens right now, these are white-collar professionals who do not have any background per se, in the sense they have no criminal record. In fact, every piece of detail that we have basically perused over the last few hours, looking into every documentation of each of these individuals, Dr. Muzammil Shakil, who's from, as Niranjan is going to take you through, and the others, none of them seem to have any adverse record.
Shravan, starting with Muzammil. Muzammil seems to be the key link in the entire conspiracy because he was the glue for the entire module. A Jaish interstate and a transnational terror module link for the module that targeted Delhi specifically, that was operating out of Delhi NCR. He was from Pulwama, Kashmir, just like in the case of Umar Nabi, the car bomber. He is from the exact area. Believe it or not, he's neighbors with Umar Nabi. But the families claim they don't know each other. How is that even possible? That is why today you're having a lot of arrests also being made from Pulwama. Not just that, very similar background. Muzammil and Umar Nabi are almost like brothers because they're not just from Pulwama. Both had a stint at GMC Anantnag and both were at Alfala University as professor/assistant professor. Very, very close. So obviously working together. Let's go to the next conspirator. Shravan.
Well, next is Dr. Adil Ahmed Rathar. Now, his age hasn't been disclosed, but we presume that it would be anything between 30s to 40s is what we have, the assessment that we have got. Now, what is his role? He happens to be a close aide of Muzammil. He was arrested putting JM posters. In fact, this all started with one officer, the SSP of Srinagar, who essentially spotted that Jaish posters were being put across. It could have been set aside because these are anonymous posters. It was a high-level inquiry that was basically ordered, leading to the identification of this man. This man was actually in Uttar Pradesh, in Saharanpur, but later turned out to be in Jammu and Kashmir plastering those posters. And that's how it all started. From Saharanpur, he was arrested.
This is a very interesting person, Shravan. And the reason I'm saying is, one of the most critical links in this entire module, we did a little bit of study on Shaheen Saeed. Her name is Shaheen Saeed. She's not a normal, ordinary doctor. She's extremely dangerous, extremely critical to this entire module because she is from Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. She's had a stint in Alfala in the past in 2021. She's worked in Saudi Arabia. She was endorsed by doctors sitting in Bahawalpur in POK. She had links with doctors in Pakistan who have worked with the Pakistan Air Force, Pakistan Army, and these are details we'll uncover in the next few days. But she was hired by the Jaish-e-Mohammed to run the Jaish women's wing in India, Shravan. So
well, in fact, just a quick point before we go to the fourth conspirator, and the reason why Niranjan is saying that why this is dangerous, because in the month of October, it was here on Republic TV, we had put out the audio tape of Masood Azhar. It turns out that he was basically coming up with a women's brigade. Largely, what we saw was a change in the tact itself. Women's Brigade run by Masood Azhar's sister. And here comes the link which we'll uncover in a short while from now. Let's move to the other man, Dr. Omar Nabi. It turns out that he's suspected to be the Delhi suicide bomber. He's from Pulwama. The background, once again, similar to the first three. Doctor, worked at Alfala University. In fact, Niranjan, what I picked up, and perhaps here Abhishek can also basically come in, this is basically Dr. Omar, who actually got to know that this Faridabad module, Abhishek, was actually busted by the police. That's when we are given to understand that in a hurried manner that he's actually moved across and carried out this attack. So it seems that they had a different plan altogether, but this was done in a hurried manner, realizing that on Monday morning, the entire module was actually busted by the Faridabad police.
Well, yes, so since you have already introduced the faces of terror, Shawan, let me just piece together. So Adil, you said, what's his age? He's 1994 born, which means he's 31 years old. And that's Umar was 1989 born, so 35 years old, in their 30s typically. Now, if you look at it, Adil is the first one to get radicalized while he's still doing his MBBS. And that's in 2021. And then he is tasked with setting up a Jaish sleeper cell, which he gets going. And that's when he decides that he cannot do that in Kashmir, maybe because that was the task that's going to unravel. He comes to Saharanpur last year in the month of November. That's where he sets shop effectively as a consultant general physician with 2 hospitals. And that's how he gets in. And then he taps his old connections in Anantnag, Dr. Muzammil, Dr. Umar, both from Anantnag. And the sleeper cell is set at Alfala. They all come to Alfala. Alfala becomes a front or a face. And then they carry out this design of gathering all the material so that whenever they get the go-ahead, they carry out a blast. Now, when these Jaish-e-Mohammed posters come on October 27, I'm just briefly finishing it off, yes. And police gets cracking. CCTV footage leads to Adil in Saharanpur, and he's picked up on November 6, and his questioning leads to his locker. Imagine, a doctor's locker, AK-47 found from it in Anantnag. And then, of course, Muzammil and Shaheen are arrested, and the swoop down happens, 3 tons worth of war stores found. Now, Umar gives a slip in the morning, realizing that it's the end game. He manages whatever he can, pulls out of the war stores, takes that ammo. Possibly it was ready or readies it. Maybe he readies it right there in the parking lot. Yeah. And that's when the suicide bombing happens in the evening. That's how it pans out, really.
And that's how it actually happened also, Abhishek. In fact, 10th November, the joint teams of Jammu and Kashmir Police, the Haryana authorities busted the major Jaish-e-Mohammed plot module in Faridabad's Dhauj village. They seized 360 kilograms of explosives, over 2,900 kilograms of IED materials among the 8 arrested. But these 3 doctors that Shavan was just explaining to us about, this exposes the terror network, the white-collar ecosystem of these terrorist-educated professionals. The probe, which began with JEM posters in Srinagar, spanned multiple states. Take a look.
On the 10th of November, the joint teams from Jammu and Kashmir Police and Haryana authorities stormed a rented accommodation in Dhauj village, shattering an interstate and transnational terror module linked to Jaish-e-Mohammed and Ansar Ghazwatul Hind. What they uncovered was alarming. Approximately 360 kgs of explosives alongside assault rifles, automatic pistols, live cartridges, electronic timers, remote detonators, and multiple suspicious bags.
It is very clear from the information that we have gotten is in one of these houses, Mohammed rented one of these houses just 3 months ago, and he started collecting material, the material that has now been recovered, which is more than 300 kilograms of inflammable powder. And we also got to know that earlier it was suspected that it was RDX, but then later it was clarified that there were 4 separate bags, and those 4 separate bags have 4 different inflammable powder. It was also told that there was a chemical liquid, explosive liquid, which was also recovered from here, around 5 liters of it.
Sources reveal the total haul across related searches exceeded 2,900 kgs of IED making materials.
कल जो है रेड्स की गई और जिसमें रेड्स के दौरान यहाँ पे लगभग 360 केजी के आसपास इनफ्लेमेबल मटेरियल है जो कि संभावित अमोनियम नाइट्रेट है। मैं क्लियर करना चाहूँगा कि इट इज़ नॉट RDX। इसके अलावा कई और ऐसा सामान जो टेरर एक्टिविटीज़ में जिनका संभावित इस्तेमाल किया जा सकता है, जैसे टाइमर्स, लगभग 20 टाइमर्स विद बैटरीज 4, और इसके अलावा कुछ अन्य सामान है जो है यहाँ बरामद किया गया है। साथ साथ ही जो है जो फायर आर्म्स में एक कैरन कॉप राइफल with 3 magazines and 83 live rounds, एक पिस्टल with 8 live rounds, 2 empty cartridges और 2 additional magazines है जो इनसे जो है रिकवरी की गई है।
What was uncovered throughout the day was a white-collar ecosystem radicalizing professionals and students.
It's a very small room that Muzammil actually rented from the owner of this house to store all the explosive material. 3 months back, he came to this place and he said that he'll be using this room for storage of personal belongings. But then he was allegedly using this room to store more than 360 kgs of explosive rifles, AK-47 rifles. And we'll also show you the house completely because there are several rooms in this house. This is like an independent builder house. And you can see that in some part, I think that you can see a stove here, a gas cylinder that which he could possibly use for making of the timer bombs. And then there were other from another location, more than 2,600 kilogram of explosives and other material which usually goes in the making of a timer bombs has been discovered.
At the residence rented by Dr. Muzammil Shakil, a 35-year-old physician from Pulwama in Jammu and Kashmir who worked as a faculty member at Alfala Medical College in Faridabad. The probe traces back to late October, when the Jammu and Kashmir police investigated provocative Jaish-e-Mohammed posters on Srinagar's fringes. Interrogations led to a web spanning Kashmir, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, and beyond. By the 10th of November, 8 arrests, including 3 doctors, had dismantled the core. Dr. Muzammil Shakil, Dr. Adil Ahmed Rader, Dr. Shaheen. The operation that was conducted on the basis of a tip-off over the last 13 days is one of India's largest terror hauls. And hours after Republic's deep dive into the Faridabad terror plot, a terror attack in the heart of Delhi has exposed clear links. 10-11. This is India's biggest fight back against terror.
Well, in fact, now it comes to what we are seeing as the front. That's the Alfala University, not very far away from where we are standing today. And not many would have really thought that this could have actually been a front. But the reality is this, that this almost appeared, Niranjan, that they were basically coming to that very place. It was almost like a cover, starting from Dr. Muzammil, who was actually employed there. Dr. Shaheen was linked in some manner or the other, and it turns out that the other doctors were too. And so much so, this afternoon, at least 6 individuals from Alfala University have already been detained by the Faridabad police. It clearly goes on to indicate that they wanted to carry this out while being able to carry out a rented operation, a rented apartment where they basically were storing all the arms and ammunition.
We must clarify, however, Shawan, that we are not naming the institution because the institution in any manner is involved, obviously. It's just the sleeper cell which used the Alfala University as a facade while they were carrying out their nefarious designs. So that needs to be clarified.
Yeah, but Abhishek, if it's 1, if it's 2, if it's 3, and if it's 4 or more students, or faculty, even worse, right? We're not generalizing, but the fact that there were at least, I just heard a statistic. Now we'll have to check that there were at least 50 to 60% students at Alfala University who were from Kashmir.
Yeah.
Right? We again can't generalize.
Yeah.
But they found it an easy location to ensure that the Jaish module just threads there.
There is a common link here. There's a common link between GMC Anantnag from where there was a recovery of weapon. The second aspect is also the fact that you've had recovery of weapons also taking place from the university. So it was more like a safe area for Muzammil so that he could actually avoid the gaze of the security.
And these are highly radicalized individuals. They would have in turn radicalized more youth. They are in their 30s or 40s, but if they are faculty in the midst of these youngsters, imagine the kind of impact they would have had. So I think the Alfala University administration or management needs to really come out and make a statement.
Absolutely.
I also agree with this, and I also think the sweeping counterterrorism operations across 3 Indian states has unearthed the massive cache of explosives and weaponry that is linked to the network of radicalized professionals that Abhishek was talking about. These are banned terror groups that we're also looking at. Jaish-e-Mohammed, Anwar Ghazwat-ul-Hind also. Authorities are now also investigating whether laboratory facilities at Alfala University were utilized or intended for synthesizing advanced explosives like RDF. The Faridabad Police Commissioner, Satyendra Kumar Gupta, had also confirmed that a major terrorist network has been disrupted.
Blast near Red Fort rocked the national capital, killed at least 12 people and sent shockwaves across the country. The multi-agency investigation is underway, and the course of investigation has put a spotlight on one place: the Alfala University in Faridabad's Dodge, a medical educational institution harboring the terror doctors, who were suspected of carrying out the blast on November 10th that claimed to have innocent lives and injured several people. 7 suspects, all with links to Jammu and Kashmir, were arrested, including medical students of Faridabad's Alfala University, from where police arrested Dr. Muzammil Shakil and seized ammonium nitrate, an AK-47 rifle, and ammunition from his room.
Alfala University, the premises which has been at the center of the Faridabad terror module, and also now the Delhi blast case that led to 8 deaths and several others seriously injured yesterday. 3 doctors, 3 assistant professors from Alfala are under scanner, one being Muzammil Shakil, who was arrested in a joint operation of Jammu and Kashmir Police and Faridabad's crime branch in October, which led to 2 other prime suspects as well.
In the latest, 7 people have been detained from Alfala University by the police after 800 police personnel conducted searches in the university campus. The detainees were brought out from the lab by the police, and the university lab is now under probe scanner. Republic TV also accessed the visuals of the section of the building where Muzammil Shakil used to live at Alfala University in Faridabad.
Proper CCTV footages have been scanned, hostels have been scanned, the hospital has been scanned, fellow professors have been interrogated, and the investigation is expected to continue as we speak. These are the details that we are picking up as strong links are emerging between the Delhi blast case and the Faridabad terror module that was busted by Jammu and Kashmir Police in coordination with Faridabad's crime branch.
And those were just 3 of the angles that we've been able to get you here so far. Of the 10 investigative angles that we're looking at closely on Republic. We'll take a break now, Shravan. If you want to tell our viewers what else is lined up when we come back on this special broadcast.
Well, the larger picture that basically emerges from this entire investigation, the deep investigation that we have done, coming up, more details of what's the Pakistan link.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi and National Law School Bengaluru.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध, MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
Some places feel like they've been waiting for you.
where every piece speaks of legacy, from diamonds that celebrate ambition to festive gold that honors tradition. LD Sons.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा। सबका राजा और मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
Some places feel like they've been waiting for you.
Welcome back. You're watching the special broadcast here on Republic TV along with Shravan, Abhishek and Rhythm and myself trying to get you the entire conspiracy as we piece together what happened in the national capital through 10 angles here on Republic TV. Let's now show you what we've been able to put together in terms of the route that was used by one of the terror conspirators. Umar Nabi, believed to be the suicide car bomber. We have the timeline, I think. Shravan, we can go through the timeline. This is the blast timeline as captured in some of the videos. This is one of the videos, not exactly at 8:04. This particular video was at a toll booth. The car entered Delhi via the Badarpur toll booth. So around 7:20, I think, Shravan, when the raids began around Alfala, and Umar Nabi, the bomber, leaves spotted first at around 8:04, 8:20, and 8:04 at a toll booth and 8:20 at a petrol pump near Okhla. If you'd like to take it from there.
Well, in fact, this is exactly what we have been saying, that when the Faridabad module was basically busted by the police, it seems that there began the movement. In fact, there was already intelligence input about the movement of this man called Dr. Umar, and on Republic TV, we were also putting out the news that one suspect was on the run. It turns out that little, as Niranjan was pointing out, a little after about 8 o'clock is when the first time that he was spotted, that was car that entered Delhi via Badarpur toll plaza. So Haryana was one focal point where this entire investigation was taking place. Let's move on. Around 8:20, the car was basically spotted at a petrol pump near Okhla industrial area. Okay. Then we have...
the next sequence, please, at 3 o'clock, around 3 p.m., 3:19.
What really happens between 8:20 and 3:19 is not really clear at this point in time. Where did he really go thereafter? Not very clear. But let's go to the 3:19. If we can just go back to 3:19.
He parks the car at 3:19.
He parks the car around 3:19 and then he goes around 6 o'clock.
He gets out at 6:48.
So this is what happens. Between 3 o'clock to about 6 o'clock, when the car basically is spotted moving towards a Red Fort area and then goes to the parking lot. Now, this place is when you actually can see him wearing a black mask. And the picture that you actually have of Dr. Umar basically matches with it. Right now, why is it that they are not officially coming out and saying that he's the suicide bomber? That's because he's been blown into smithereens, and the fact that they are right now still waiting for the DNA sampling to be over, to be able to match the DNA and finally come to a conclusion that he is, after all, the suicide bomber.
Okay, so this is the video evidence of him leaving Faridabad, reaching Delhi. The car becomes critical. The I-20 car that was used in this attack becomes critical, and we've been able to, in the last 24 hours, put together how the car changed hands, gave clues to the investigators, and eventually led to Umar Nabi. Take a look.
Following the high-intensity blast that took place in the national capital yesterday, one thing that pulled everyone's attention was the white Hyundai i20 car and its changing locations. During the investigation, Delhi police revealed that the car slowed as it approached a traffic signal near Gate 1 of the Lal Kila metro station at 6:52 p.m. The further chain of changing location of the car was then traced through various CCTV footages. According to the details, the I-20 was first seen outside Asian Hospital in Faridabad at 7:30 am. After which the I-20 car was spotted near the Badarpur toll booth at 8:13 am. Following that, the car was traced at a petrol pump near the Okhla industrial area at 8:20 am. At around 3:19 pm, the car was spotted at the parking area near the Red Fort and was there for more than 3 hours, hinting that something suspicious was definitely going on. And then at 6:48 pm, the car was seen leaving the Red Fort parking area. Then within next 3 minutes, just at 6:51, neighboring areas heard a loud noise and the blast happened near the Red Fort. Furthermore, the car was also seen around Daryaganj, Kashmiri Gate and the Sunheri Masjid. A crucial detail about the car showed that the I-20 entered National Capital on October 29th and it was seen near the PUC shop, which hints at a deeper probe into the case. As the investigation moves further, the Delhi police revealed that various people who were involved in the purchase of the I-20 car. One of the owners of the Hyundai I-20 car was Dr. Umar Nabi, who was also the driver of the car. According to sources, he used to live in Jammu and Kashmir's Pulwama. The car, with registration number HR26CE7674, was manufactured in 2013. It was registered in the name of Salman in 2014 and the registration certificate states he was the second owner of the car. Just after few hours of investigation, Haryana's Gurugram police confirmed the arrest of Mohammad Salman, the original owner of the I-20. However, when the Haryana police contacted Salman, he said he had sold off the car to Devendra, a resident of Okhla. The chain went on, and after that, Devendra sold it to a man in Ambala who later sold it to Amir in Jammu and Kashmir's Pulwama. Then, from Amir, the car went into the hands of Dr. Umar Nabi Muhammad, who is the main suicide bomber and the driver of the Hyundai I-20 car. Sources revealed that he worked at Alfala University in Faridabad. Despite the car changing so many hands and moving from one state to another, it remained registered only in the name of one owner, and that was Mohammad Salman. As the probe moves ahead, there are various angles that are coming into the story which might reveal some important details.
And as we look at the entire route map, we spoke about the route map, we have the details of the escape. I think the escape becomes a critical story in the Shavan, because the moment the police reached the Faridabad terror den, Umar Nabi fled. And we've mapped the route. This is the route. Roughly took him about 1 hour. Ideally would have taken about 1 hour because it's a 57-kilometer journey. If you calculate, end to end, point by point. 7:40 was when the raids began. At 8:04, Badarpur toll booth. We just showed you the visuals of him seen there at the Badarpur toll booth at a CCTV junction. At the junction he's seen, and then secondly passes through Okhla phase 3. How do we know Okhla phase 3? Because the same car bearing the number plate HR ending 74 was once again spotted at the Okhla industrial area at 8:20, and then it goes into a grey zone.
Well, this is where it begins. Around 3:19. In fact, 3:19 is the time that he is spotted. The car is basically, it's a slow-moving vehicle, moves from towards the Red Fort signal. Now, thereafter, all that we've been able to pick up are the following. One, that he basically moves to the parking lot area. So that's the last CCTV footage where you can see Dr. Umar, the terrorist doctor, wearing a black mask, enters the parking lot area. Now, the question here is that whether at all there was a detonator. That we are picking up right now with more information that this was with using ammonium nitrate, fuel oil, as well as detonators. In fact, this is where the clincher comes in. And Abhishek, you got us the details with regards to the fact that ammonium nitrate that was used, this is the same ammonium nitrate that was also recovered from the terror den in Faridabad, 350 kilogram that was recovered just a few hours before that.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, Shavan, so there is, as we have been discussing, Niranjan and Rhythm, lots of circumstantial evidence already which is linking the threads of the Faridabad module with the Delhi blast and of course via Adil to Jaish-e-Mohammed and then of course back to Pakistan. But just circumstantial evidence is not enough. You know, Rhythm, you are a lawyer. You need corroborative evidence. And this is the first sliver of corroborative evidence we have, which I've spoken to those who are involved in the probe. And they say that forensically now we can say that the ammonium nitrate, the traces of ammonium nitrate found from the blast site at the same batch or the same ammonium nitrate that they have located in Faridabad yesterday and today both. So I think our agencies are pretty close now and very confident that they would establish all the linkages with corroborative evidence also. Yes.
All right, we're now going to get you the timeline of the Delhi blast, which Shavan and Niranjan were showing you. Abhishek has given us that news. The Hindoi I-20 car that was involved in the deadly blast was tracked entering the city via Badarpur at 8:04 a.m. Then it went across, spotted at the petrol pump near Okhla at 8:20. The car then went to the parking area at 3:19 p.m. It was seen leaving the parking area at around 6:40 before the explosion that occurred at 6:55 p.m. Take a look at this package that we've put together.
With the suicide attack now at the center of the probe, Republic has accessed crucial details tracing the final movements of the Hyundai car before the blast. CCTV footage from multiple points across central Delhi helped reconstruct the car's route in the crucial hours before the blast that killed 12 and injured 20 others. At 8:04 a.m., the car entered Delhi to the Badarpur toll booth. Just 16 minutes later, at 8:20 a.m., the car was captured on CCTV at a petrol pump near Okhla industrial area. At 3:19 p.m., the same car was seen entering the parking area near Red Fort only a few hours before the explosion. Around 6 p.m., the vehicle was spotted leaving the Red Fort parking zone. The Hyundai I-20 left the parking area and around 6:45 p.m. took a U-turn near Old Delhi railway station. It then drove along the Chhata rail chalk stretch and proceeded towards Lower Subhash Marg. Just minutes later, at 6:52 p.m., the vehicle slowed down at a traffic signal on Netaji Subhash Marg near the Red Fort metro station and exploded. The full route now under NIA scrutiny. Every CCTV frame, every turn, every minute being examined to uncover the conspiracy behind the Delhi blast.
So, Niranjan, in fact, we wanted to ask Shavan and you also, Abhishek, hours before the explosion took place near the Red Court, the security forces had uncovered tons of explosives that were there in a house where we were reporting from today at Faridabad. This is very clear that this was something that was being planned in Faridabad, which is a terror den from the longest time, Shavan.
Well, let's make no mistake that the plan was much bigger than what we have witnessed right now. The very fact that you're looking at ammunition roughly about 3 tons, you know, it would be bigger than any explosion that has taken place in our country. In fact, if you really look at some of the plan that they were basically trying to hatch from the intelligence community is the fact that they were looking at multiple attacks at multiple cities. That was the original plan. Let's make no mistake about the fact that yes, there has been a slip up. But at the same time, we've been able to, you know, at least take cover for certain reasons.
Just to help viewers understand the scale of tragedy that would have happened had they succeeded in their plans. The Pulwama terror attack had use of just about 100 kilograms of explosive.
Gosh.
This is 2,900.
Bombay blast. Bombay blast 250 kilograms.
Yes, just 250 kilograms. And you're looking at 2,900 kilograms of warlike stores, including, of course, about 400 kilograms of ammonium nitrate. It could have been huge.
It could have been huge because the numbers that are coming from Faridabad about, like you said, 2,900, 360 kilograms of explosives. This also exposes, Abhishek and Niranjan, the web of radicalized professionals operating under the guise of doctors at the private university. Republic reached the spot, and we show you the chilling details of what we uncovered.
Hours before the deadly bomb blast in the heart of Delhi, security agencies foiled a major terror plot. Almost 3 tons of explosives and several arms and ammunition were seized from a rented accommodation in Haryana's Faridabad. And investigations have revealed that the explosives used in the Delhi blast were brought from this very house. Rented by terrorist doctor Mujammil Shakil, a doctor from Jammu and Kashmir's Pulwama. He's reportedly the key link in a white-collar terrorist ecosystem involving radicalized professionals. This is the house where the terror plot was hatched. Terror Dr. Mujammil, Shaheen, Adil and Umar Nabi kept the explosives here before agencies swooped down on Monday morning.
Alfala University, a premises which is under scanner, a premises which harbored three people part of a terror module. They were just not teaching here, not just practicing here as doctors. They were staying here, and they were part of a huge terror module which has now been busted by a joint operation of Jammu and Kashmir Police and Faridabad Police's crime branch. A lot has happened in the last 24 hours right after the arrest of Mujammil Shakil in October, followed the raids at his rented place where the police found a huge cache of arms and ammunition.
Notably, all these individuals worked at Alfala University, where they posed as doctors but were secretly planning a terror attack. The university was used as a front for the nefarious activities. But due to the police's quick action, their plan was foiled. One terror doctor, Umar Nabi, escaped and went on to carry out the Delhi blast, killing 12 and injuring several others.
And one of the critical angles that we're looking at is that of the car bomber. Yesterday, Abhishek, we were told that there is an absconding driver, absconding doctor, absconding key affiliate in this entire link. And we didn't know who that was until 7 p.m. When Shawan was in the studio and there was boom, an explosion in Delhi. And that's when we realized that something is going on. And we initially thought it was a car that exploded. No, it was not. It was a terror attack. And the man behind the wheel. And now it's clear that this terror doctor called Umar Nabi, Umar Nabi becomes critical. He was in the car. He brought his car from Alfala after the raids. He basically scampered. Is it? Is that the...
Absolutely. Scampered. Absolutely. In fact, MBBS in Latin is doctor of medicine and doctor of surgery. This is like doctor of terror. And such a horrible job he would have done of treating patients, because he couldn't even configure the bomb. Because he scooted from Faridabad when he realized that there is a raid impending and he would get arrested. Muzammil and Shaheen did get arrested because Adil was in custody of the cops and the agencies. And he couldn't really make the bomb proper. It would have caused much more mayhem, Niranjan. We have been discussing the quantum of the volume of explosives that they had. So he couldn't configure the bomb or the contraption really properly, and that's why you're not seeing a crater there on the ground. You are not seeing shrapnels. You are not seeing those kind of injuries. I think the agencies did succeed to a great extent in preventing a bigger tragedy. Even one is, of course, big. 8 lives lost is big. But the fact that Umar was radicalized to a level and rabid of the kind that he would decide in a huff that, okay, fine, I cannot carry out my entire plan. Let me just execute this much that I can and kill myself and kill all the people I can just to make a point of terror. I think in that sense, this is also a kind of tragedy we are looking at from our national life's point of view, that you have these well-off people, middle-class people, are they learning about 5 lakh per month, all of them from good backgrounds, and turning radical to a level that they are effectively Islamist terrorists now, all of them.
In fact, Shravan, if we can ask you to explain that graphics that we have.
I'll just add a piece of information. This is what I picked up, Abhishek and Rhythm, just a short while back before coming to the show. With regards to who this man is, and Abhishek, you were rightly pointing out, we're talking about a highly radicalized person. In fact, when I spoke to a Jammu Kashmir police source, this is exactly what he had to say. That he, among all the doctors, was not only one of the most radicalized, he was also the same very person who was basically egging the others for carrying out a bigger attack. So here is a person, the moment he realized that the entire module was actually busted, he did actually try to get in touch with another person. That other person happens to be a suspect right now, so we're not going to name that person. But the fact that they were planning, as I'm repeating this, yes, I'm repeating this, that the plan was much larger than what we witnessed. It is only because this man that you see, one of the most radicalized person, and part of this entire module, someone who was pushing for a bigger attack. He's suspected to be the Delhi suicide bomber. He's from Pulwama, and he's a doctor and had a cover in Srinagar too. Niranjan.
Shravan, I think the basic question is, he escaped, he was radicalized, he carried out the blast. But if agencies knew this man is going to carry out a blast and he was on the run, another critical question also comes up. How did he escape? And how was he allowed to reach Red Fort? It's a high secure area. How did he reach Red Fort?
I have a quick answer, but this is a question that I've been asking to multiple sources just to get an idea of it. One, the fact of the matter is that, will the Faridabad police perhaps answer at some point in time? Were we supposed to really know about the crackdown really that happened yesterday morning? Or were they planning to perhaps inform the media, the entire nation, after the entire operation was over?
But you knew the car number, right?
So the fact of the matter is that there is a slip-up. Whether it was at Faridabad police level where the information came out that the module has been busted, because that information went to Umar Nabi. That's one theory that has been worked at, and the agencies are still working on it. Yes, of course, he did manage to move around, and that too with ammunition.
Okay, so here's the story. How did he escape and how did he manage to do what he eventually did last night? Story of Umar Nabi.
This is Dr. Umar Nabi, the prime suspect, the suicide bomber in the Delhi bomb blast in the Red Fort area. These are the pictures that clearly establish him driving the Hyundai i20 car that exploded, killing at least 8 people and injuring many others. Early leads in the probe connected Dr. Umar with the Faridabad module led by Dr. Muzammil and Dr. Shahina, both now being interrogated in the custody by the police. This is the Alfala University, used as a front by the terror module of doctors while they conspired, planned and were on the verge of executing a huge terror attack with 3 tons worth of ammo and other warlike stores.
Behind me is the Alfala University, which is at the center of searches by different departments of Haryana Police, crime branch of the Faridabad Police, as the prime suspects of the Faridabad terror module were associated with in university. Since morning 7 a.m., several senior police officials from different departments have been conducting searches.
And this is the place where all the mayhem was planned. This room, this house, where Muzammil, Shaheen, Adil and Umar kept the material before the agencies swooped down on Monday morning. But even as the crackdown was going on from Jammu and Kashmir to Uttar Pradesh, from Delhi to Haryana, Umar Nabi seems to have given the security apparatus a slip and escaped in his I-20 early Monday morning. It is this I-20 that Umar used in the suicide blast outside of the Red Fort in the evening, moving all day to evade the cops through the roads of Delhi.
When the raids were being conducted at the Alfala University, Umar Nabi, the terror doctor, the car bomber, leaves in his car. He scampers, he panics, he leaves in his car, he takes this route, he takes the highway, and in the highway he passes the Badarpur toll booth. At 8:04, CCTV catches him crossing the Badarpur toll booth. That's 8:04 a.m. yesterday. And then at 8:20, his car, the I-20, passes the Okhla industrial area. After 8:20, he was next spotted at 3:19 p.m. parking his car at the Red Fort parking lot. And at 6:40, around 6:40, not 6 but 6:48, we are told, there is a video of him leaving the the parking lot, and you can see that he has his face covered. That's Umar, the man behind the wheel, the car bomber in Delhi.
Whether Umar panicked while on the run or indeed executed the terror plan. It is now a significant part of the probe as to how he managed to escape as police forces zeroed down on the Faridabad terror module.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
Some places feel like they've been waiting for you, where every piece speaks of legacy, from diamonds that celebrate ambition to festive gold that honors tradition. LD Sons.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
Some places feel like they've been waiting for you, where every piece speaks of legacy, from diamonds that celebrate ambition to festive gold that honors tradition. LD Sons.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर मसाला।
The visuals which we are seeing on the screen are visuals just around 7 o'clock. This blast is reported somewhere between 6:45 and 7 o'clock. The death toll is rising right now. We have NIA on the spot. This is a huge explosion because there are the mangled remains of multiple cars. We are told that in a whole area of 100-150 meters, nothing really was not brought to absolute ruin. You see the signs of the devastation, ladies and gentlemen. can see the mangled remains of that auto rickshaw. And imagine this auto rickshaw is not even the auto rickshaw where the blast happened. Around 15 fire tenders were dispatched to the area, but to no avail because it was very, very late. The blast had happened, it was immediate, it was severe, the fire was huge, without any doubt.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला
In the India Today Best Universities Survey, India's #1 ranked universities in various streams are JNU Delhi, Amity University, AIMS Delhi, IIT Delhi and National Law School Bengaluru.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल ये रंग दे ये खुशबू दे ये तीखा ये कम पड़े क्या निराला MDH मसाला
Some places feel like they've been waiting for you, where every piece speaks of legacy, from diamonds that celebrate ambition to festive gold that honors tradition. LD Sons.
Our pure शाही पनीर मसाला, delicious, healthy, everyday.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला। MDH
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूम देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये ही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है, अरे मेरे राजा।
Some places feel like they've been waiting for you, where every piece speaks of legacy, from diamonds that celebrate ambition to festive gold that honors tradition. LD Sons.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल ये रंग दे ये खुशबू दे ये तीखा ये कम पड़े क्या निराला MDH मसाला
Some places feel like they've been waiting for you, where every piece speaks of legacy, from diamonds that celebrate ambition to festive gold that honors tradition. LD Sons.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
MDH की देगी मिर्च
देगी मिर्च का तड़का अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूम देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये ही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है, अरे मेरे राजा।
Some places feel like they've been waiting for you, where every piece speaks of legacy, from diamonds that celebrate ambition to festive gold that honors tradition. LD Sons.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
Our pure शाही पनीर मसाला, delicious, healthy, everyday.
from Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Welcome back. You're watching Republic TV and the special coverage. In the last 1 hour, Shavan, Abhishek, Rhythm and myself have been getting you the investigation. The 10 exclusive angles that unravel the conspiracy into the Delhi 10-11 blast. And all of this, Abhishek, all of this boils down to one aspect, which is it was a Jaish-e-Mohammed module that operated. Jaish-e-Mohammed is operating from Pakistan. It effectively makes it a Pakistan plotted attack on Indian soil. Why is that an act of war, Abhishek? And by the way, just on the sidelines, right? While we talk about this, ladies and gentlemen, we here at Republic TV have dropped the election coverage today. We have decided that this is of national importance, and for us, it's always been nation first, elections later, and that is why we are focusing on the Delhi 10-11 conspiracy. And we are doing the right thing, Abhishek. I think people are talking about Purnia, Muslim vote, Yadav vote. We want to talk about national unity and national interest.
Abhishek, Shavan, that people are watching Republic.